If by chance you are dreaming right now, wake up! Welcome to Horror Nights!
Hey, you're here on Horror Nights, and tonight we have Logan, Register of T-Rex Talents. Hey, how you doing, Logan?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to have you on the show. I've been friends with Logan for a very, very, very long time, back to the old Blockbuster days of coming in to rent movies from us. One of my almost daily customers.
Yes.
So we got to know each other over movies, and then years later down the road, we wound up working together in movies. So it's been a fantastic journey. Logan has a lot to talk about because Logan has a lot of talents. T-Rex Talents is the title of their business, and they really do have it all packed up. So, Logan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Logan. I am a special effects makeup artist and a entertainer, I guess. I kind of try to do it all as much as I can. I make my own costumes. I do makeup. I haunt act. I scare act. I try to do as much as I can. I've taught people to scare act. So yeah, I've also acted in movies.
Jack of all trades. How long have you been doing the special effects?
Since around 2011.
Wow, that's a long time. What got you into doing that in the first place?
That's a funny story, actually. So my mom was a hospice clown.
Oh, God.
And
It's a thing?
Yeah, they're clowns
for do that to me.
And so she always had to be her assistant when I was younger because she couldn't leave me home alone. And so I was a clown for hospice with my mom. And then I got into haunted houses because I was into horror and I wanted to find a job that I could do. And so I started seeing the makeup they did at the haunted houses. And then I got like a little pack of latex from my haunted house boss. And then I came home and my mom gave me her clown kit. She like passed it down to me like a rite of passage.
Oh,
and
neat.
So then I started practicing from there, and it just took off from there. It was kind of an amalgamation of things, like both that and my dad got me into horror and like all of that. So
it was
kind
a family affair. And
yeah.
You come from a family of creepy clowns who do hospice. Man, that would be my worst nightmare. If I were on my deathbed, you guys send a clown? That's going to scare me to death.
For like kids who wanted to be entertained and stuff like that. And yeah, it was she's really good though. She like made clown balloon animals and stuff.
Bless her heart, because hospice is hard, and I certainly don't want to discredit any of that hard work. Bless your mom for doing that.
Yeah.
Hospice clown, that is a term I've never heard before and never want to hear again. So special effects have taken you a long ways from the haunted house industry. That's where you got started. And now you're doing movies and videos. Tell me a little bit about some of the movies that you've done makeup for.
I've done a couple for MMH Productions. They're really awesome. I've done what have I done? I'm drawing a blank. I've done a Krampus movie for them where I actually got to dress as a bear because I have a bear costume, which was a lot of fun. And I've done a movie called Stay, which was awesome. That one I really enjoyed because I got to work with Mrs. Romero, George Romero's wife.
Very cool. Wow.
Yeah, I was stoked about that. I was so nervous about that. And I've acted in a few. I've acted in Chain for Life. And that one's on TV, I think, and I think Stay is being released to a few apps, like
Wow.
Fossum, which is a really weird name for an app, but yeah, it's on Fossum. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm
You've
doing
done a lot of movies and you've even been in movies. It's amazing. Like I said, T-Rex talent's taken you far. You've had many adventures. You also did some work in a circus, didn't you?
yes.
What did you do there?
It was a traveling circus. It was a haunted house themed circus.
Okay.
And it was a rated R circus, so things got kind of crazy sometimes. But it was a lot of fun, and we would travel during on Monday. We would travel, and like Thursday through Sunday, we would do shows, and sometimes we would do double shows, and it was basically you go through a little miniature haunted house like grave site scene, and then you would go through that, and then you would get to the main show. And I was in the grave house scene, and I would scare and entertain the people and stuff like that.
This was one of your characters, wasn't it, for the
Yeah,
circus? Yeah. That
and
is
I just did all
killer.
these
Look at
characters.
that. So impressive.
That
That's
was roadkill.
that is
So
wicked cool, man. Wicked
thank
cool.
you.
I'd hate to turn a corner and run into that thing.
Well,
But that's awesome. That's exactly the experience you want people to have, is to be like, whoa.
yeah, it's cool because that would be my electric chair. You wouldn't hear me coming, and then they'd like, I had like this like toy gun that like would like it would like vibrate, and then I'd put it up to them, and then I hooked it up to a really loud speaker, and it would scare them, and then I'd go through the audience at halftime of the show, and like just scare people and stuff like that, and it was very fun. I built a couple of props for them, little like skeleton props and stuff like that. It was tons of fun. I got a lot of experience traveling and doing all kinds of stuff. It was a blast. I really enjoyed it. I did that for like almost 2 years.
That's awesome. That is amazing. Like I said, what an amazing career you've had. You've done so many things over the years that I've known you. What was your favorite part of acting in a haunted house and doing the circus? What was your favorite part of doing those gigs?
It was a mixture of getting to live in a horror movie almost, and also getting to use my differences kind of as a superpower, because I guess for the people that don't know, I'm a little person and I'm in a wheelchair, and you know, you grow up kind of getting made fun of for stuff like that, and I got to use it as a superpower, kind of as like,
Yeah,
because
rather than a disadvantage, you use that to your greater
yeah,
advantage. Did you
yeah,
find that it was actually probably to your greater advantage to be in a wheelchair? But there are people who are scared of people who are. I know there are people who are scared of little people, which is
yeah, there
crazy
definitely is.
because
Uh,
you're all just people. But they be scared of little people, and I that has got to be an outrageously fun experience to be like, boo, motherfucker.
yeah, it was cool because, like, you know, I'd have people that were like really big grown men that were like would come in super gangster and come and try to press their girlfriends, and the next thing you know, they'd be jumping on their buddies' backs. Like, I've had people in haunted houses pass out, and they knocked out one of the support beams of the scene,
Oh,
and we had to like wait for them to wake up, and like it's just like the weirdest things though that I've had happen, where some people would go up and like one dude just like wiped his hand across my forehead to see if I was real, and then he's like, "Whoa, you are real," and I was like,
I had a guy stick his finger in my eye once to see if I was real. I had those scleral contact lenses in,
"Yeah,
and I was just staring into the abyss because I know that they don't look real. And I'm
yeah,
in the chair, and I was waiting, and he came and he
yeah,
stuck his finger in my eye, and I knew he can touch my eye with those sclerals. It's not going to hurt. So
Yeah.
I let him stick his whole finger in my eye, and then I blew on his finger. It freaked him out so bad. He hit the floor. I think he pissed his pants, but he left the room skittering on his hands and knees, like just shitting himself. It was great. I scared somebody to death with a blink.
That's awesome. We've definitely had like some people pee their pants before. And I've also had like I remember there was like two drunk chicks, and I had like a totally different, like I was trying to make this mask, but it didn't really work out, but it did cover my face. And they came, and because I was in a wheelchair, people would come and sit on my lap in the circus because it was a rated R circus. And
Right.
so it had like a sexual overtone to it. And they came and they both like
Some
licked
action.
me at the same time. And I'm just like,
Oh, wow. We'll have to do that on the other show. We'll have to talk about the action you got.
scary here, and you are not scared, obviously.
That's cool.
Very weird. It's very weird. And like I would scare 13-year, it was 13 and up for the circus.
Right.
And which I think it should have been a little older if it was rated R.
True.
And I scared this one kid into tattletaling himself on his own age. And I snuck up behind him, and I had my Iffy the Tiny Terror costume. And I had my big knife, and I snuck up behind him, and I stuck it to his back. And because normally you're not allowed to touch people in haunts, but in this one, one of the reasons it was rated R was because you can't touch people. And so I snuck up behind him, and I put it to his back, and I said, like I was telling him, "You're not really, 13, are you?" And he's like, froze. And it was that costume, and it just looked like I had his face stapled to my face, and he was like, he just froze. He didn't know what to do, and his parents were looking at him like, "Do not tell, do not tell." And he told me like he started crying and then told on himself. And I told him, "If you don't tell the truth, I'll be under your bed." And
I'll be under your bed, and you would fit. So that's even scarier.
And he told on himself immediately, and his parents were just so disappointed in him.
Oh shit!
So funny.
So funny. That's wild. Oh man, good times. I'm glad you had such good memories of like haunting, because I know I have so many haunt stories. Like we could go on for hours about just the haunt stories galore. There were times we had the Golden Shoe Award at the at Regal Vineyards, where if you scared a customer out of their shoe, at the end of the season, I would spray paint that shoe gold, and the best haunter of the night, or the best haunter of the whole season, would get the golden shoe. Because you would literally scare people out of their shoes, and they wouldn't come back for them. They would leave the haunt with one shoe.
Totally. They would leave the haunt completely, and that was fun getting the awards, because like we got a couple awards at like Forsaken and stuff. And I don't remember what it was for.
What haunts did you work for altogether?
I worked for my first ever haunt was Forsaken Haunted House in Menor, Ohio, which unfortunately burned down. The like place it was attached to burned down, and like all the stuff carried over, and it was not inhabitable after that. And then I worked for Ohio Dormitory, which was a brief haunt, and then I worked for Regal. I worked for Carnival Horrors. I worked for, at the time it was Scaratorium. I worked for the Reformatory. Those were just guest haunts because I was traveling at the time. I wanted to do guest haunting for a year.
Guest haunting seems so fun. I think I'm going to take a year to do that. I haven't done it yet. I took a year off from haunting this last year and just went and did other Halloween-y stuff because I've spent so many years haunting that I've missed out on all the Halloween stuff that there is to do. So since I left my last haunt, I was like, I'm just gonna take a year off. I mean, I did do a little bit of stuff with the water park haunted house out here.
Yeah, I worked there too. Yeah,
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 yeah, Pioneer. I did
yeah,
a little bit of stuff with them, but they were just getting started again for this year. So hopefully they
yeah,
have a bigger kickoff next year. Will be great for them. I think they did a
yeah.
fantastic job this year of getting things started. So there are 150 something haunts in the state of Ohio. I saw a map.
Ohio is not Mecca. I learned that when I was moving around, and Ohio is basically I don't know if it's officially the place, but it's definitely one of the main places in the United States for haunts.
And that's why we're so great for horror movies. Like there are so many
Yeah,
horror movies shot here in the state of Ohio because it is
it
just
definitely is. It's cool.
crazy rich with haunted history and
Yes.
haunted houses and gore galore. There's so much of that in Ohio. It's Lake Erie, I think.
Mhm.
It just kind of seeps
It
down
yeah,
across the state,
it's
and
it's great.
it's
I love it.
fantastic. Yeah, it's
And
wonderful.
like, a lot of people don't understand. Like you said, you wanted to take a year off to do some like Halloween stuff. Is that like people think like I mean, working at a haunted house is fantastic.
This
It
it's one
gives
of the
you the
most amazing
greatest,
experiences you'll ever have in your life, but it
yeah,
is also work.
yeah, it's work. Like they don't realize that you do miss out on a lot of the Halloween experiences, and
Because
getting
while everyone else is out
to.
doing the haunted houses, going to them, we are working them, and we don't get a night off, because if we take a night
Yeah,
off, then there's an empty spot in that haunted house where we should be.
yeah,
So,
and
and
that's like
we
that
want
was
you to have a full and rich experience, so it's important for haunt actors to be there every night, and that's a
exactly
commitment
it's work. It's like I
to the whole
remember
season.
my friend worked basically the same shift as me. He worked McDonald's, and I worked the haunted house. And we would come home at the same time. We'd leave at the same time and come home at the same time. And he would be like, "Man, I didn't know haunted houses would make you that tired." And I'm like, "It's work. Like it doesn't like people don't understand that it is work. It is physically exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. It takes
Yes.
you have to try
It's
with it.
physically
Like
demanding, and I'm sure you have more stories than I do of the broken bones that you achieved from
yeah,
haunting. I mean, because it's physically demanding. It is a very physical job, and I'm sure the circus was even more so.
the
Um,
circus is crazy. I inflamed my spine at the circus and had to be in the hospital for a few days and had to go chase down the circus in the next town because we move every week.
we can touch on
And
the true horror of
yeah,
what you deal with.
listen,
We can touch on the condition you deal with that causes the broken bones, just to
yeah,
raise a little bit of awareness. If you're
yes.
interested in doing that, you can say something
Okay,
about it.
I'm down. You want me to right now?
Sure, since we bridged the subject. If you're not comfortable with it, we can just
I'm
skate
I'm
ahead.
done. I have osteogenesis imperfecta, type 3. It's brittle bone disease. I was born with almost all my bones broken, and I've broken bones over 300 times since, and had 19 surgeries. Um, and I can break a bone having the hiccups or sneezing. I've broken my leg
Yes,
rolling in bed.
true
It's
horror. Where,
yeah.
where where movies cross over, where fiction crosses over with reality. There are things that are worse than the things that go bump in the night.
There's actually a horror movie about my disease that I found. It's like a very indie movie,
Oh
but it
wow.
was
What's it
actually
called?
about. It's called Fragile, and it's really great. It's kind of a ghost movie, but it's really cool, and I was really excited to find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because it's a very
Yeah,
interesting concept, and the fact that it's real is even
yeah,
scarier,
yeah.
and that we know somebody with that, and somebody amazingly talented. You rise above. You're like a phoenix. You really do. You rise above all the challenges that you face, um, and you do amazing stuff. I'd like to show off some of your other work here, some of your
Okay,
special effects makeup, if you don't mind,
I don't
because you
mind.
do some amazing stuff. We're going to start with um, this is me, moi, myself, and I. You did this wonderful makeup on me We did it outside in the rain.
Yeah.
We had to stop. We had to run inside and finish it up.
Yeah.
So even with the challenge of the weather, you did this amazing. And these are prosthetics. That's not it. Yeah. And some of that, the brow is not a prosthetic. That is just highlight that you did, right? Up on the brow.
The brow was a prosthetic.
The brow was a prosthetic. It was the highlight on the cheeks.
Yeah,
part of it was, it looks like there's a whole face prosthetic. There's not. There's pieces.
Yeah.
And you can't tell where the pieces begin and end. And you can't tell where there's the cheekbone there. I have wonderful cheekbones. Don't get me wrong. But he made them amazing. He made them like sharp boned, almost prosthetic looking structures that aren't prosthetics. He's just amazing at what he does. And then we're going to take a look at how you do some of these makeups, because you have to work around your challenges in order to do these makeups.
Yes.
But you do a fantastic job of being incredibly professional in how you do that. Let me take a look here. Pull up another one. So to face the challenge that you face of being a little person, you work on the ground often.
Yes.
Which works well.
Yeah, I switched kind of from the floor to my chair because, some people aren't comfortable with me being on the floor, or it's not feasible with the started raining. We had to go indoors and stuff like that. But I do kind of both. Which sometimes it's easier to do the floor thing, and sometimes it's easier to do the chair thing. But that was on set of Stay.
And I think it's important that we touch on this, because it shows that if there's other people out there who maybe are little people, or they are in a wheelchair, or they feel like they would love to do something like what you're doing, it's achievable. You can do it. It's not impossible for you. You can really overcome anything to do the things that make you passionate in this world. And I think it's amazing what you do. Your artistry is phenomenal.
I've had tons of doubt too.
Doing some arm wounds on this lady here. We're going to take a look at what that looks like when you're finished, because you sent the finished product as well on this one.
Yeah, she was supposed to be a user. I don't want to get demonetized, but she was supposed to be a user, and
so some damaged arm there.
Yeah. I did all of her marks, and I did her tattoos too.
Oh, you did the tattoos too?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I have a video of it, and it's I'm going to put it up eventually. I have a video of it where I did chest, face, chest, and arm tattoos.
That is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know. I did not see. You fooled me. I didn't even know the tattoos weren't real. I thought the tattoos were real and the wounds were what you did. Here, you blow me away by showing me that not only is that your work, but in addition, those tattoos, those you did as well. Have you ever thought of taking up a tattoo needle and doing tattoos for a living? It looks like you could do it.
I wanted to, before makeup effects, I really wanted to be a tattoo artist, and then I couldn't find a machine that didn't rattle too much, where it would just mess with my hand too much.
I forgot about that for a moment there. That might fuck you up.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't like when things happen to Logan's arms, because that is where the bread and butter is. We like when your arms are healthy. So it's good to hear that you're in good health recently. There was
makeup once with a broken arm, though. I refused to go to the doctor, and I refused to bail out.
Did you do the witch with a broken arm?
No, that wasn't the witch. I did an old age makeup, and it didn't come out the best, and I should have gone to the doctor, but I didn't want to bail out on the director. And
is that this one in the red?
I think so.
Because this is what you consider to be bad work, and it's not bad work. This is
no,
awesome.
It's not that one. It's one that I don't even have a picture of it. That one is Mrs. Romero, George Romero's wife.
No freaking
Yes.
way.
And she's
That
supposed to be a
you did
older
makeup
lady in a
on
cancer
her?
patient. Yes,
I'm
yes.
like fangirl geeking out. That is so fucking cool.
And when I
Wow.
told you I was nervous, I was so
You
nervous.
sticking in your boots. That is
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
was,
So
I
cool.
was completely nervous.
That is awesome stuff. All
And I
right.
got to have breakfast with her, so that was really cool.
Breakfast with her too?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so awesome.
yeah.
Some of the coolest stuff, man.
It
This
was
was one
really
of your hot
sweet.
characters we haven't taken a look at yet, but I love this one. Um, just
I made that costume.
cute as fuck.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know that it would scare me because I think I want to pick it up and cuddle it.
It was when I was in the dormitory. It was in Amish country, and the only thing the Amish are really allowed to play with are like teddy bears.
Oh yeah?
And so yeah,
Oh, that
and
would
so
be
like
terrifying to them.
yeah, they we hid it in like on an old fashioned bed, and like there was like a bunch of teddy bears on the bed, and I was hidden amongst them, and I popped out when they would come around the corner, and that was the thing out of the haunted house. That was one of the things that scared them the most because they thought I was like actually like
This looks like it needs a movie. Like somebody
yes,
needs to take up and make a movie about this little tiny terror right
yes,
there because that thing is horrifying and adorable all at the same time. You could sell tickets to children. Like
yes.
look how cute it is. I see
That sort of like
some
added
pictures.
so
So that is the coolest thing, man. It's
thank you,
terrifying and adorable at the same time.
thank
Uh,
you.
let's take a look here at what else we've got. I love the witch makeup. We brought up the witch makeup a minute ago and we haven't shown it yet, but this witch makeup, the detail on it is amazing.
Thank you.
Just take a look at
I think
that.
that was the one I was most proud of. That one and um the addict one, and I think
What
that was
movie was this from?
that was from what is it? Nightmares Unleashed. That was
Okay, very
a
cool.
MH Productions film from
Okay.
Nightmares
Very
Unleashed.
cool. We're going to talk with him in the near future about his Nightmares Unleashed 2, which will be coming out soon. That I did some of the special effect makeup for on that one.
Yeah.
And you did the makeup for Nightmares Unleashed 1, which was
Yeah.
is out. I believe that is that available on Tubi?
I'm not sure. I know it was an amalgamation of like several artists that worked on it, so I don't know how much my makeup is actually in it. But I know that witch is in there somewhere.
Yes, and she is beautifully wicked. Look at her, the veining on that, the ears, the whole face is different pieces of prosthetic that are just seamless. The seamlessness with which you do your prosthetic work. I tell you folks, you can't impress enough upon the seamlessness of Logan's work. I went to a party at Nightmare Haunted House in Cleveland after with that demon makeup on, and so impressive because nobody, even the makeup artists, couldn't tell where the prosthetics began, ended, if there were prosthetics on at all. It's amazing. It's amazing the work that you do. So
Appreciate that.
the talent is something to be celebrated in this world. So we talked a little bit about your challenges. What are your goals?
My goals were to be just to like be able to drive and to do as much of this makeup as I can and really get out there and like work with more makeup artists and do more film and do as much as I can. It brings me happiness to do it.
That's
So
fantastic. Are
I
you
love
for hire?
yeah,
Awesome.
all the time. And
Send us
it,
your socials where people can find you. And
Okay.
besides Facebook, and if there's anywhere else they can find you, let us know. And we will put that in the comments section. People can take a look at that. And if they want to get a hold of you for some makeup work, then, that's you're the guy, man.
Yeah.
Like, you really are very talented. And I'm glad you have goals for yourself still. You just keep growing and going, and it's amazing. You are such an inspiration in this world, and I just feel like that's why I wanted you on the podcast. I wanted you to come out and share all of your talent and the odds you overcome to share that talent with the world. So let's talk a little bit about horror movies. What is your favorite horror movie?
So I have a great story about that. My first and favorite horror movie is Scream. And I know that that's probably everybody's favorite right now because of the new Scream that's come out, but mine is the first original one. I mean, I also like Blair Witch, Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead, and stuff like that. Those are always in competition.
Right.
But I love
franchise is
Scream.
amazing.
Yeah, and I love Scream because so it was my first horror movie, and it happened because
you were a 90s baby.
Yeah, exactly, and because so I had a body cast on. It was up to I had like one of my first or second surgeries, and I had a cast on up to my belly button and down, and it was like a half body cast, and my dad had it on like the Sci-Fi Channel back when it played good stuff. And, and my dad fell asleep, and when he would fall asleep, like it was hard to wake him up. And he fell asleep on his recliner, and it started playing Scream, and I had no idea what it was. Like I just, the beginning opening, it's just this girl talking on the phone. I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad. I don't know what's going on, and I was only like a little kid. I was only like 5.
It's a win. I said, yay for lazy parenting. It's a win.
Yeah.
When they fall asleep and they accidentally let you view a horror movie for the first time.
I started watching it like between my fingers because it started to get scary. And I remember that opening scene. And I just like specifically remembered that. And that was my first horror movie because I couldn't move to change the channel. I couldn't get him to wake up. Mortified just watching this whole Scream movie at like 5 or 4 or 5, and I was like, "This is terrifying."
I love it. I'm terrified, and I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Instantaneous addiction at 5 years old. That's awesome. What a cool story.
So Scream, Evil Dead is awesome.
See, this also inspires parents who maybe screw up, and you think you screwed your kid up. You could be inspiring your kid to become something fantastic. If you didn't screw up, you may have been the very key that unlocked all of their dreams and talents by making that mistake, by falling asleep and letting them watch a horror movie at 5 years old.
I think it's all about how you explain it too, because like my dad was the one that had me watching it, and he would tell me that like when I would get really scared of it, he would be like, "Okay, well, here's 2 things to help you not be scared of it. One, try to think how they make the monsters. Like, how do you think they did that? How do you think they got it to do this? How do you think they got it to do that?" And then that's what got me, I think, into kind of like being interested in makeup effects too.
Yeah, making the monsters. Absolutely. Tell me how they're made, Dad. That's cool. Daddy, where do monsters come from?
Yeah. He would also say like, and then also think about how stupid people are being on the movies. He's like, now, would you ever forget how to unlock a door and run out of there? I said, no. He's like, would you run upstairs when you could run out the back door? I said, no. So he's like, so there, just think about how dumb people are being on the movie and think about how they're made and how you could make that and how it's probably, not really a monster. And I would be like, okay. And then I would always get voted between him and my brother on what to watch. Like, they'd want to watch Jeepers Creepers when I'm trying to, eat food, and it would make my stomach sick, and I would be like, okay, cool.
So you were just immersed in horror from an early age,
Yes.
totally by accident at first, and then the people just went, "It's okay. We've already fucked this one up. We're just gonna continue."
Yeah.
That is the quintessential of parenting in general. Is that's how it goes. You're like, "Whoops, I screwed up this one. Ah, fuck it."
Yes. I was definitely immersed in horror because my mom doesn't like horror, but then I started doing it to her, and I started her off with like Carrie, and then
Carrie's a great starter. Carrie's a great movie. What a classic.
and I love Carrie, and I would start her off with that, and I would really immerse her in that, and she would be like, "Okay, well, I think, they deserved it," and I was like, "Exactly, Mom, they deserved it," and slowly get her in on that. So
One of the great tropes of horror movies is that
good for her.
Oftentimes the victims deserved it.
They
I was in a horror movie where I was one of the victims that I felt like deserved it.
Yes.
She was just this cheating hoe, man.
Yeah.
She totally deserved it. What came to her? I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody what happened to her.
Yeah.
Because it would ruin the movie if you ever get to see it. But she certainly deserved it. I when I was reading the script for it, I was like, oh, this bitch.
Yeah. I would play a victim, but I think I would really love to play like a little like creepy creature.
That would be so cool. You would be great for like a little creepy creature. Guys,
I think the only thing that
movie makers. The only thing we need a creepy creature, we got one for you.
Yes, it would be great. The only thing that inhibits me is that I can't walk. So like it would have to be like a crawling creepy creature or something. But I've always wanted to do that and just
stationary creepy creatures. You were scaring people from a bed.
Yes.
Like I said, you're great at the improv of haunt acting, and that can be applied into horror movies. Your talent is well beyond your reach. Pun intended.
Good fun. Yeah. Good fun.
And you have a great sense of humor too. I've known you for like I said, a long time, decades really, and you've always had a great sense of humor and just an overall great personality. Overall, one of the coolest human beings I've ever met. I think that your gifts are only quantified by the things that challenge you. They're only made better because it amazes me to see you rise above and beyond what most people would on a general basis, but only to achieve better than they would even be able to do. I know very many perfectly able-bodied artists who couldn't do the work you do. And speaking of, let's see if I think we've got one or two more images here to share that you've done. And then let's see here.
I think that's why I try so hard to be good at it, because I know that I'm lacking in some areas, so I want to be good at it.
Work applying. See, like I said, overcoming those challenges to make sure that you can do the work. And look how professional you are, gloves and all.
The hardest thing about that was the gloves, because there are no gloves that fit me.
They don't make like children's size gloves. They really should.
They do make the closest gloves to fit me are these things called bubble gloves, and they make them to where the finger sizes themselves are smaller. Because most gloves, the palm is smaller, but they make it the finger size is smaller. But those are like $28 a box, and they don't come very much in a box. And but even those are still a little bit big on me. And I think that, like, especially when COVID hit and stuff, that there should have been a company that came out with like a every size, babies included.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, I agree with you. Like, everybody should have had the same. There are children doing art that you don't want them to touch certain chemicals, when they're doing certain art projects. You would think that they would make these smaller gloves to enable that. These gloves look like they fit a little bit better. Maybe it's just the
Yeah, those were the bubble gloves that I had. That yeah, they were like, I think they're called bubble gloves, and I'll have to look them up. But yeah, those were the ones that fit a little bit better, and I was applying a silicone prosthetics.
Yeah, yeah. And like, look at that again, the seamlessness of it. And you haven't even applied the overcoat of color that you're
Yeah.
probably going to apply to this. And your color work is amazing too. What are your favorite tools to use? I know that's not a question we talked about before, but what are your favorite tools to use when you do a special effect makeup?
Probably I really love Skin Illustrator. I've been I've just discovered Narrative Cosmetics because they're a little bit cheaper than like the more expensive stuff. They still have alcohol palettes and stuff like that, but they're a little bit cheaper than than the Skin Illustrator palettes and stuff. And they're coming out with their own line of more affordable stuff for people. That is pretty much just as good. But I don't know, I'm a big like brush person. I like certain brushes, and
So you
I
have
don't
like
know,
a kit of special brushes that you use more
yeah, like
your special kit.
and all that, and like yeah, I'm very much into that. And you always got to have like a little fan to make sure your prosthetics dry super fast and stuff like. I
Yeah.
like to use a fan rather than a hair dryer because I have a portable fan that you don't have to plug in or anything that my aunt got me, and that doesn't really make noise or anything.
And you don't have to find a plug for it, and it's not like heat in their face, and doesn't crack the makeup, because sometimes the heat application can crack the makeup, and then you're dealing with trying to seal a crack. Yeah. That's really actually very smart of you to use a little fan. I never carry a little fan. That's something I'm gonna have to start doing now.
And plus, if they start sweating, you can be like, "Oh, here, I have a fan," like while they're waiting for them scenes or whatever.
Oh yeah, I always carry one of those like hand fans, but I never carry I always carried a blow dryer with me. So it looks like we have some comments here I've been ignoring. I didn't mean to. Well, there is I'm new to podcasting, folks, so I apologize. I did not see the comment section until now. Happy birthday to your brother Nick, Misty's brother Nick. We're going to say happy birthday, dear Nick. And happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you folks.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah. Good times. Oh, why do we worship a false god, Satan? That's interesting. Yeah, we worship makeup, the gods of makeup.
Yes.
Actually, at this collective. We're talking with a world-renowned makeup artist here. And truly that is applicable, because there are people all over the world who know about your work.
I remember when I went to the circus, because there were people because I don't like to have a big ego or anything. I try to stay humble, and I know people who say that really aren't, but I do try. And then I started realizing I'd go, because we went state to state to state. We started in Florida, we went to Louisiana, we went to tons of places, and there would just be people that would just be in the audience, or be in because we'd come to the main tent, to the concession stand tent, and it would be packed full, and I would just hear people scream, "G-Rex talents," and I'd be like, "Hello."
Told you. You are straight up world renowned, man. People know you. I have run into complete strangers in random environments and brought you up, and people went, "I know them," and I'm like, "That's awesome." You're just such a unique person. You're unforgettable. We talked a little bit about booking special effects opportunities with you. We'll put in the comments where you're able to be reached at. Last but not least, I'd like to know, who's your idol? Who do you idolize the most? And tell us a little bit about that person.
I'm a big fan of Greg Nicotero. he was taught by Tom Savini, but he is like he's amazing special effects artist, from everything from Spy Kids to Scream to The Hills Have Eyes to, or the remake of Hills Have Eyes, to like everything. Um, and I'm a big fan of him. He's my main idol. And I just, anybody that just gives me time to really like teach me when I ask them a question, which is rare in the special effects industry. Like, a lot of people don't want to share their secrets.
A lot of trade
Yeah.
secrets. People don't want to share their trade secrets because it's a very competitive field.
Yeah. Like Mr. Rob Berman, he's on my Facebook. He actually taught me a lot, and he, and it's rare for people to share their secrets at all. And he, taught me a lot and stuff like that. And that's what I do. Like, I don't do it in like a crazy fan kind of way, but like I'll message certain makeup artists and be like, I have this question, can you help me with that? And, if they answer, they answer. If they don't, they don't. But sometimes they do. And that's what, like, I advise people to do that. Like, don't be like crazy fan about it, but like be professional about it.
Right,
And be like,
absolutely. I heard something about Tom Savini that he can be somewhat abrasive to fans, but I've heard that it's because he does not like fans who just want to fangirl him. He wants real conversations with people. So I've heard of different experiences people have had. My one friend says, when just come up, talk to the man like he's a human being. And get a perfectly pleasant experience with him. If you just talk to him about the art, talk to him about the movies, talk to him about something of more substance than, oh, I'm your biggest fan. He's bored with that.
Both experiences with them, so I kind of see what people are talking about. But yeah, I've had kind of both. But it's a lot of people that just want you to. And I've been surprised by people who, like, once you come up to them and kind of like, hey, like, and that was my experience with Greg Nicotero, was that I came up to him, I had my portfolio in hand, which really wasn't much of a portfolio. It was just like regular size pictures and a little old style, like,
photo album type thing.
Photo album type thing. And I was like, this is what I've done. And it wasn't even like the pictures I showed you. It was like older stuff that really wasn't that good. But he's seen a piece of foam latex that I had been practicing skin tone on. And he's like, that is really good. You are good at coloring.
You are.
He said, what was that?
The blending is like,
thank you.
Man. You can't, like I said, it's just invisible lines, man.
I try to
seen anything like it before, never seen anything like it since.
I try to focus on it because there are some things with my disease that I don't want to say I can't do, because I haven't had the opportunity to try them. I haven't had the opportunity to try to make molds because I don't have the materials or the access to, like, I haven't had the access to make foam latex or to make, my own mold or anything. And I don't have the, an access to an oven that can bake foam latex or anything like that. But like, I don't know if I can do those things. So I know that if there are some people who try to do everything in the effects world, like on Face Off, they show them doing everything.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do everything in a very limited time, and it is.
But that's
do you ever want to compete on something like that?
I did want to compete on that. I liked their show Game Face a little bit more, because that was application, and that's what I'm good at. And I really wanted to do the Monster Make-Off that we had here in Ohio.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that. I want to do some type of competition with makeup. But I just know that it's really good to, even though Face Off made it seem like, try to know everything under the sun. It's also really good as a makeup artist to be good at one thing really well, because that's kind of, they can hire you like that. They can be like,
Yes.
you're really good at laying
That's
hair. We need
fantastic
somebody like
way of thinking about it too. Is like you feel a void in the makeup world where I have my hands in the pot, but I don't have nearly the talent you do. I'm more of a Jill of all trades in the makeup world. I can do the hair, sort of. I can do the makeup for the most part, But like you really, like, I can do prosthetics, but we're gonna have to hide the seams. Um, it's seamless.
But that's what I try to do, because I know that I can't do certain things. I can't do certain things. So I'm like, let me focus here on this as much as I can and get good at this.
Yes. It's fantastic. Fantastic stuff. It has been an absolute joy talking to you again. I hope that we get to experience more of your work in the future.
Thank you.
Do you have any work that's coming out in the near future?
I don't currently. I do hope to get booked, or be able to work with a makeup artist, because I do enjoy like teaming up with people. I just hope to be able to do more and add to my portfolio, even if I just get models just to do it for fun. I would really love
So you're
to.
looking for models to just work with, and you can, when they message you, you can give them your deets on that, as to where you're at and where it's a convenient place to meet up with them. And but I definitely recommend your work. Models, if you're out there, it is a really cool experience to have your makeup done by Logan. He's an amazing artist. He's very professional, very talented. It's worth it. You definitely want to take pictures that day of the work that's been done, because it's photo worthy.
And you don't have to be like an actual model. It's just, I just need your face.
I just need your head. You don't even have to have a body. Just bring your head. If you happen to have a severed head around, just bring it over. Logan will make it up. It'll look really cool.
Exactly.
Put it on a stake in your front yard. You know what?
There you go.
I got some enemies. So I might be calling you.
There you go. Good things.
Make these severed dead heads look good for me. So I can put
There you
them
go.
on spikes in my front yard like that.
Very good. I think that's a plan.
I'm gonna be the makeup artist to the stakes.
Yes.
And the stars.
Yes.
I just think it would be super cool if an opportunity came your way. My big dreams for you are that somebody hears this silly little podcast and they work for Hollywood and they call you up and they're like, we gotta have you. You're just too unique to miss out on. And
I just want to show that people of all kinds can do it, because I've never really seen anybody with a different disability do it, and I've had tons of people tell me not to. You know what I mean? And
who tells you not to? That is wild to me.
Because there's just like, don't do it because you have to, lift molds or whatever. But like, it kind of discouraged me from going to the Savini school, like, that much. So, but like, I knew that, once I look back on it, that I would in the school, at least, there would be other students that, could help me and stuff like that. Even in Face Off, they helped each other a little bit.
Yeah,
but
there are other people in the world who can do the heavy lifting. You don't need to. You're too talented to do the heavy lifting. Those hands are worth too much for you to lift your delicate fingers doing anything but making the art you make. For sure, you should always have an assistant on hand who can do all the heavy lifting for you, because even if you had the longest arms, you are just too talented to take that risk.
It made me work harder. It made me want to. That's why I'm so meticulous about the detail, because I've had so
And I
many people
believe that's true. I don't believe you'd be the artist you are if you didn't have the challenges you have. I think that makes you an even better artist, and I think it maybe even gives you advantages we aren't aware of. A steadier arm because you don't have as much arm to
Yeah,
hold out. You probably have a
yeah,
steadier grasp
yeah.
than
That is
most
a very
people.
difficult. That was very difficult for me to do. Is like steady my arm, especially like I'll when I'm working in my wheelchair and stuff. I'll be like, "Can you bend down, please?" And they'll think they're bending down, but they're not really
They're
like.
just putting their
Or
face over you.
they'll slowly like sit up, and then I'll slowly be reaching up higher and higher, and I'm like, wait, 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 wait,
Get
get back.
back down here, grabbing
Yeah.
their head. Ah! I said, get down here.
Like I have to put your head in like some type of vice to keep you here so that I can do the makeup.
Don't pass out.
Yeah.
So much harder to do when you're dead weight. It has been fantastic talking to you, and like we've got to meet up when the weather is better. I am a bear in the winter. I hibernate. I don't come out. You know,
Me
because you
too.
live near me. And it is awful here in the winter, so we don't come out of our caves for the winter, but I'm so glad spring is just around the corner, and we're gonna get out, and hopefully we'll get out together and see each other this year for a little bit, and maybe have an opportunity to do some cool special effects makeup. It would be really cool to have you back on the show when Versace is feeling better.
I would love to. We can talk
He is
horror.
phenomenal to talk to about horror movies. It would have been more about movies if he had been here, and you guys could have talked horror movies galore, because I know you have a rich bank of horror movie knowledge up in that noggin of yours. So, and we need to pick at that. We also maybe could do a live event sometime where it's me and you could do a live demonstration of some of your makeup, and that would be really cool.
I would love to do that.
Fun
You
as
can reach me at T-Rex Talents, anything that's like anything T-Rex Talents. I do have an old page that's not applicable anymore. It's so not the one with my picture of me on it, but there's like it's just a skull in a wheelchair with a mohawk of brushes. That
right.
is, yeah, but
you're a really dope logo.
Yeah, thank you. And it's just T-Rex Talents on everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I mainly do the Facebook one and the Instagram one, so mainly Facebook. But
yeah, Facebook seems to be the easiest platform to access when it comes to communication with people. So that's awesome. I'm glad people can get a hold of you here, and I'm going to be streaming this. I'm going to just stream it from Versace's Facebook, where we've been streaming tonight, and I'll put it on mine. You're welcome to share it from yours. Share it far and wide. We get the word out. It's been so freaking cool talking to you. Really, truly an honor to be in your presence again. Truly, one of the masters. Guys, absolutely go check out the links in the comments. We're gonna make sure that you get to see all the work. You got to see some of the talents today, but it is immense. There is so much to see and so much more to come. So it's been awesome, Logan. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with you again in the near future, and to streaming with you again in the near future. Thank you for being here for this one.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good evening, folks. You stay creepy. And we'll see you next week.
All right.